Hey, and thanks for joining us on this week's episode of For All Things Lexington, the only show dedicated to Lexington, South Carolina, and where a spade is always a spade. Here we'll talk to and about people, places, groups, things to do, and places to go in and around Lexington, South Carolina. I'm your host, Angela Barrett, and this is For All Things Lexington. Brought to you in part by GervaisStreetBridge.com, Columbia's most unforgettable free-to-list business directory. Hey guys, thanks for joining today. I have with me Gerald, who is kind of the lead person for the SC Fun Seniors group, and we are going to talk about what that is all about. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Welcome to be here.
So tell me, SC Fun Seniors, what is it?
SC Fun Seniors, well, the name SC is because we're in South Carolina. Fun, that's what we do. And seniors is, our group is made up from men and women 50 and above.
The good group, right?
The good group.
Yeah.
Those that are looking for activities that they don't want to participate alone by themselves, but they want to be outdoors. So they're with like-minded folk by participating with the SC Fun Seniors.
And we'll get into what you guys do, but about how many active members do you guys have?
On our meetup page, our meetup group, which is the participating group, we have 130 plus, and it fluctuates. It'll be up 2, down 1, and it changes, but 130 right now.
And are they all from this area? I know you're from this area, but all around South Carolina?
All around South Carolina. There's some from Greenville County, some from Berkeley County, and Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Rock Hill, Augusta, or North Augusta. But I would say the majority of the group is from the Midlands area.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Lexington, Richland County.
Now tell me what all y'all do. I mean,
when we first started, we were primarily a kayaking group because that was what I wanted to do, and I was looking for people to kayak with, and I couldn't. There's a lot of groups out, okay? But I wanted to kayak with folks that were my age that didn't want to get into a rush down the river kind of thing, just wanted to be a laid-back group.
Right.
And so I couldn't find one. So I started my own. And so what we turned out to be, well, in the beginning, so we're going on our 5th year now. Our second year, we were primarily 100% kayaking. And then we drifted into hiking and walking. So we do about 10 to 15 miles a year on the Palmetto Trail. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing we added were where we would go bicycling on some greenways around South Carolina, North Augusta, Greenville, here in Columbia. And then we added camping. So we incorporated kayak camping, and then every year, well, at least for the past 2 years, and we're going to have it this year, we have a spring retreat where we go to the mountains and we lease out the whole campground of a resort up there, or a base camp for a lot of hikers, and so we lease that out, and it has a primitive camping spot, RV camp spots, a full kitchen that we could open up and use, gazebos like this right here, fire pit, and we lease that out for 3 days. So if you want to kayak, great, bring your kayak. If you want to hike, we go chasing waterfalls, and if you don't want to do any of those but just want to hang out by the fire and hang out at camp, that is perfectly fine. There's anything we do is non mandatory.
Gotcha.
So we've added all these things to the group. So kayaking is still about 60% of what we do. And then we've added the hiking, walking, bicycling, camping, and we do, this year we've done several historical sites where we would meet and travel to either upstate or the low country and to some historical sites. We would always end, 90% of the time, we would always end an event with a picnic or a cookout. After we come off the river, before everybody starts packing up to leave, I bring a little small fire pit, and people bring hot dogs, brats, or whatever they want. And we'll just set up our camp chairs around the fire and just socialize for an hour before we hit the road.
Yeah.
And then if we're walking or if we're bicycling, we usually find a restaurant that would allow the group to, say there's 20 or 30 of us or 10 of us. We'll go and enjoy a good meal before we disperse.
Yeah. Well, by that time you've worked up an appetite anyway.
Exactly.
Because that's a lot of activity.
Yeah.
So I think I saw on Facebook where you guys just had recently a camping trip down, kayaking down in the PD.
Yeah, this past weekend.
Yeah, I am originally from Dillon, South Carolina, off the Little PD.
Okay,
so.
yeah. Well, the Little PD's on the list. Yeah.
That's some black water.
Yeah, black water. Now we did. It was 19 miles. And we paddled the first half of it, found a sandbar to camp out on, set up camp, built a fire.
So where did you put in?
In Gerald. And then we paddled down and got out in Society Hill.
Right.
So we spotted a vehicle. We left it at the town hall, the police department in Gerald, and did the same thing down in Society Hill.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha. Now tell me about some of the other trips that y'all have had this past year or in the years past.
Oh goodness. Well,
obviously the Saluda River, which we're on.
Yeah, the Saluda River, we've done this one before, but since it's kind of late in the season and we're looking for something closer to home, because we travel all over the state, right?
Right.
And so I picked the Little Saluda River for not this weekend, but next weekend, to give us something that we can go to and get on and get off, and on a Friday instead of a Saturday. And it's just close for anybody, it's local for majority of the people instead of having to pack up and travel.
Right.
Our next one after this one is on the Black River. We're doing the Black River Cypress Preserve. Now that we're doing 5 miles on the Black River, then after we get out off the river, we're going to the Cypress Preserve, and it's by invitation only. It's not open to the public. So they've invited our group to come and enjoy their facility. And they're on the Black River. It's 1,000 acres. And they're providing mountain bikes for everybody to ride. They have trails to it. They have interpretive guides that will be with us. And then we'll have lunch on the property also.
Oh, nice.
So when we get off the river, we're going to go just a short ways, maybe a mile back up to the preserve. And we'll have lunch there, and then we'll start. And we'll end up there about 5 o'clock and be finished. So it'll be an all-day event for us.
Yeah. Now, what about some of the hiking trails? I can do that. I can't hike.
Well,
I can't kayak.
The greenways is a lot of, when we go biking on greenways, we incorporate those who want to walk and those who want to ride bikes. So, it's made for both people, right? So that's open for either one. Now, on the hiking trips, we primarily find the Palmetto Trail. Palmetto Trail, everybody knows its origins from the mountains to the sea, and so I pick a spot that's very easily to be found by folks that have no clue how to drive down Forest Service roads and try to find the trailhead. So we'll find a spot, and everybody shows up. I'll give the specific address to it, GPS coordinates, and everyone shows up. And it's usually not a through hike. It's usually a out and back. Because, like I was telling you earlier, nothing is mandatory. So if you're only wanting to walk a mile, half a mile, 100 yards, and let everybody else who is into hiking go 5 miles, 7 miles, and they'll turn, or 3.5 miles and turn around, that'd be 7 miles. You can turn around at any point you want, come back to the camp where Ann's usually waiting on us, and have a fire. The grill's hot, the fire's burning, and you just set up your camp chair by the fire and just relax. See, a big part of our adventures is not necessarily exerting yourself for the hiking, the kayaking. It's the socializing part.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people appreciate and miss when they've moved down from somewhere else here and have nowhere to go, and other than the grocery store or the library, but they want somebody to help them get into an adventure, something that they may have been accustomed to somewhere else. Right. So that's where our group comes in. We have usually about 60 to 65 of our 130 participant members are regulars. I believe I can call each person by name. Some
Good for you.
Yeah, sometimes I have to ask Ann, okay, remind me again, or I'll look on our meetup page and I'll recognize it, put the name, and I'll try. But when you have that many people coming in and out, it's sometimes it's a little difficult sometimes. But I try to treat everybody. On our meetup page, we don't call each other members. We're friends. Right. Okay, because if you tried us one time and decided we're not your cup of tea, no problem. You come back the second time, you're family, you're friends. We know who you are. We remember, and usually that hits home because a lot of people like to be felt welcomed.
Right.
And that's what we do. When we go on kayaking trips, a lot of men in the group will help a lot of folks that are unable to get their kayaks off the rack of their car, out of the back of their car, out of the truck, off their kayak trailer. And we're known for helping folks get their kayaks off you got to get them there. You have to get them on top of your car at your house some way. But once you're at our event, we will help you get your stuff from your car to the river. When you're finished, we'll help you out of the kayak if you need to, and we will help you get your kayak back on your car. And then you just spend a little bit of time lacing it down and be safe going home with it. But we're a very helpful group. Everybody in we're drama free. No
Perfect.
no fighting, nothing going on that would make anyone not feel comfortable.
Right, just a laid back kind of a group, Yeah,
and I make sure that everybody feels comfortable in the group.
Yeah, so. Well, that's great, because not only, like you said, do you get that physical exercise, which is very important the older we get, but the camaraderie and the friendship and the being a part of something. Yeah. That's pretty good. Now, what's the biggest trip, I guess, or the most exciting, either way you want to do that?
Well, the most exciting that I believe has been our spring retreat. And that's where we go to the mountains, and we leave on Friday morning, and we pack up on Sunday afternoon. So that would be probably the most exciting, because it's a combination of a lot of things. The camping, the hiking, the cooking out, just sitting under at nighttime by a campfire, going kayaking. Our first year we kayaked 4 rivers in 2 days.
Oh, wow.
And we were just moving. We'd do one river or a lake and then come back for lunch, go do another. And then the next day we would kayak one, and then we would eat lunch. We would pack our lunch on the road and stop in between the two and eat lunch. So that was the first year. And this year we focused on, the theme was socialization and relaxation, because the first year just wore everybody out with so much to do that you just couldn't relate, couldn't sit by the campfire because you're so having to go to bed to get up the next morning to do it again. So this last year we focused on just relaxation and just enjoying the company of others, and we went hiking to find waterfalls. And we found about 5 or 6 waterfalls in the area. And that was that made the trip.
Yeah, so. Great photography too.
Yeah.
Now, do y'all do this all year? I mean, in the dead of the winter when it's cold? Because I'm very cold this year.
Yeah. Well, for our first year, we stopped in November and didn't start back up into about February.
Right.
But the last 2 years, I guess it's 2 years now, we've been going year round. When we first started, we did 10 events a year. Then we went to 15, and then we went to 22, and then we went to 25. And I think this year we're going to end up with 25 events. So about every 2 weeks, I try to put something out there for people to want to be involved in if they want. So yes, December, and we're working that up now, is our Christmas party, our banquet, end of the year banquet. So we're looking for a place right now to hold it. We've had it at O'Hara's Flight Deck, the Old Mill Brewery in Lexington. So we try to do things different all the time.
Sure.
So we're in the market right now of searching out a new location for about 40 to 50 members of our group to have dinner at together. So yes, in Black River, we'll be November, and then we'll do one more probably before our banquet, and then after our dinner, Christmas dinner, we'll stop till our New Year's Day hike, and that'll be about a 3-week break in there. Our New Year's Day hike, or New Year's hike, first year it was on New Year's Day because that's just worked out for us. Last year it was on a Saturday, the first Saturday in January. And this year it looks like it's going to be the same. This New Year's Day, well, I think New Year's Day is going to be on a Wednesday, but we're going to do it on the Saturday.
And where's the hike?
That is, I have it picked out, but I'm not announcing it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll post that.
But will it be locally?
Yeah, it'll be probably within 20 miles of here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's considered local. Anywhere in Newberry, Lexington, Richland County, Saluda, that's local.
Sure.
For us.
Anywhere around the lake.
Yeah. So we're going to have the place I've got picked out. We'll have a shelter. We'll have restroom, and the Palmetto Trail goes right through it, the property. So that will stay with the theme of the Palmetto Trail hike.
Now, Palmetto Trail, you can get on that in Newberry, Prosperity, right? Now, Peachtree Rock, there's some hiking trails out there.
Yeah.
But that does not connect.
That's not the part of the Palmetto Trail.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I haven't done that.
Yeah.
And I keep saying I'm going to, and I haven't. But I haven't been out there to do that yet.
Yeah, the Palmetto Trail just zigzags through the state, primarily in a westerly. If you start down in Allendale or McClellanville area,
right.
It will, zigzag its way up to the mountains.
Yeah.
So It goes through Fort Jackson. It goes right through Columbia.
Right.
I mean, you can walk right on the sidewalk and do the Palmetto Trail through there, you know. So, but that's not kind of, you know,
Right.
we can walk downtown anytime.
Right.
So,
Yeah, one day I was teasing my husband. I was like, all right, we need to go over there and do this trail. And he goes, well, that's okay, we can do that. How long is it? And then I don't know. I think there was a section, 400 and some miles. He goes, Angela, have you lost your mind? I said, I'm just kidding. You don't have to do the whole thing.
that's it. And there's several people that have gone it the whole way several times.
Right.
But we just take sections at a time.
Yeah, I walked it 400
I think 5 miles is probably the most anybody will want to walk, because it's not down the low country is flat. Further you get west, it starts getting in the hills, and you know, it wears a lot of people out. That's why there's no length of it.
Right.
You know, everybody just let's see. This last year, we did our January hike. I think we had. I mean, this is just out in the woods. We had almost 50 people, I believe, show up for that.
Wow.
The dirt road was lined with cars. I mean, we took over the whole area, and I brought a big fire pit. I brought firewood, and we set up. It was a combination of a hike and a wine and cheese party. Okay.
I could do that.
So we had 6 tables set up.
Right.
With cheese, finger food, wings, cookies, cakes, and about 15 bottles of wine.
Yeah.
Everyone brought a bottle of wine, whatever, a different wine, and it was just shared by everybody. Of course, coffee was available, tea, and any other drink that, you know. But that's kind of what we do. We try to do things that are just out of the norm.
Yeah.
Not your normal hike up, get in the car and leave, but we try to, like I mentioned before, the socialization part of our group is huge.
Yeah.
That's what we try to do, is try to make sure that everybody not just got their exercise in however you see fit, but you were able to enjoy, by just talking to them.
Now, do y'all have like a membership fee? I mean, obviously to have some of these banquets and stuff, somebody's got to be paying.
Yeah. There is a fee. On the Facebook page, there's no fee.
Right.
The banquet is, everyone pays for their own, okay? Unless we decide to sell a ticket to it, like $20 a ticket per person, and that way we can advance. If we have to cater, then we would do that so that we can guarantee that we have the funds for the cater. If we are going to a restaurant, then it's pretty much everybody takes care of themselves. So if 40 people show up, great. If 25 people show up, great. It's all covered because we're going Dutch on this.
Right.
Now, as far as the fee is concerned, yes, there is. On our Facebook page, there, of course, is free to join. Our meetup page, there's a $15 a year membership fee that you pay when you join that. Now, your first 2 weeks is free, so you can try us out and come to a group, come to an event. If you like it, stay. If you don't, then no hard feelings.
Sure.
And after the 2-week meetup, we'll send you a message saying, "Hey, did you like the group? If you wanna stay, there's $15, and if you don't want to stay, then nice knowing you."
You're right.
So, but $15 is pretty much.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
See, because meetup costs me. I pay meetup. $400, $200 a year. Okay, $100 every 6 months. So it cost me to manage that. I did the first 2 years not charging anybody.
Sure.
But I started getting in the hole about $400 or $500.
Sure.
I thought, no, there's enough people that would.
Right. And $15 not,
would appreciate helping out.
Sure.
So, but we had to do the meetup page because it was easy to notify people of events. And it separated those who wanted to participate from those who just wanted to be on the Facebook page
or be nosy like I was.
Well,
I was like, hey, I can't get into your page. You got to let me in.
Yeah. Well, that's how you start. You got to figure. You got to see what's on the inside. So
that's right.
So that's the $15, and I don't get $15 off.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Meetup gets a huge portion.
Sure.
From that, so
absolutely. And so. The best way to get in touch with you guys is through originally at the Facebook page, right?
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way. Our email address is scfundseniors@yahoo.com.
Okay.
And the meetup is same meetup.com/SC-fun-seniors.
Okay.
And that's to get to there. And you can find the link to either one of these sites online because I post them often,
right,
so people can find their way
around.
And
because it's a social group, you don't have like a website, so those are your two main sources and the email.
And well, we have our Twitter X, and that is, I don't get much action off of it because I don't promote it that much, but it is there. All of our events, I put everything on it before it happens and after it happens, just in case somebody stumbles across it.
Sure.
But all of our events are posted on Meetup or on Facebook page, but the specifics to all of our events are found on Meetup. The specifics of what the event entails, the location,
sure,
the time, and things like that are not put on Facebook. On Facebook.
Well, that would be for everybody's safety at best.
Because we want to, number one, if you want to know where it is, go there and find out.
Right.
But it really doesn't make sense to put something out there that has no bearing on that group because, you want to participate.
You're looking for committed members. Yeah. And so I understand that completely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, gosh, this was great. I did want to ask you, so what is your favorite spot, whether it be a restaurant or somewhere here in Lexington, since this is for all things Lexington? So what's your favorite spot?
We enjoy going to Flight Deck. That's a fun place. Ted is a great guy, and they always make us feel at home there.
Right.
Usually we try to find a different restaurant every time we go out to dinner. O'Hara's Irish Pub in Lexington, we took over their whole back deck. About 45 of us had lunch there one day. They were absolutely superb.
Yeah, and Matt does a lot for the community.
Yeah, so that is probably a good go-to spot for us, and we're looking forward to going back there.
Beer, cheese, and pretzel.
Yeah. So
now you're going to make me hungry for that.
Well, we're having lunch after this. So.
That's right.
So we tried to go to different places to eat, different rivers, different trails. Although I have repeated a couple of events, I try not to.
Right.
This group's forte or niche is going where normal kayakers do not go to.
Right.
I find trails that are off the map, and if you want to get there with a group safely, then come join us, and you'll find some beautiful blackwater wilderness kayaking trails that you just don't find normally.
Right.
I want to mention that my personal goal is to kayak 100 waterways in South Carolina, and I'm over halfway now.
Nice.
Close to, I'm in the 60s right now. So that's why it's important to me to find different locations, not to do, because if I do the same, like the Saluda River out here, the lower Saluda, it only counts one.
Yeah.
It doesn't count as, if I do it 4 times, it doesn't count 4 times.
Right.
So I try to find different waterways to get on every trip we do.
Yeah.
So I want to make it interesting for you, as I want it to be interesting
Yeah.
for me and exciting for me.
Well, I certainly like the idea of something, different and unique each time. Or if you can't have it, like you said, you repeated a couple of trails or a couple of waterways, but you did something different with it, whether
Right.
beginning or end. So
Yeah.
it was still a little different, because the monotony of
Yeah.
going down the same
True.
would
True.
be.
We've done the South Edisto, North Edisto, and the main Edisto. We've done those rivers a couple of times, but they never were the same section.
Right.
They were 5 miles further down the river.
Yeah.
So
and
we
one turn,
Yeah.
one bend
Yeah.
makes it a whole different river.
So we
Trust
instead of getting oh, you've done the Edisto. Well, we have done the Edisto, but we haven't done the Edisto down the Low Country.
Right.
So we're going to go down there and see, because the river is wider. The further
Right.
you get, the wider it gets. The water flows different.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, my parents actually lived on the Little PD, and they lived right at a big bend. And the difference between what people saw here versus what they passed mom and dad's around
Yeah.
that bend was
Yeah.
completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, just even the way the water flowed.
Yeah, and we could do the same section of the river next week or 2 weeks from now, and it'll be different than it was last week, because the water flow changes a lot.
Right.
If you've had a lot of rain in the upstate,
Fast.
eventually comes down. What was rapids there last week, water just flows right over the rapids and you don't see
Nice.
them. When there's no rain and you got in with a lot of water, all of a sudden you're like, where did these rapids come from? But they're there because the water level has dropped.
Right.
So it's new a lot of times, even in the same section.
Oh, right, because we've done the tubing, down this from West Columbia where you get in, and just so we can take the kids, my niece and nephew. But the last time that I went, it was just my husband and I, and I guess I didn't pay attention how long it had been. We paddled down that thing. There was no tubing.
Yeah.
The water it took forever to get down there because the water was just that slow. And then we've been on it where you're having to hold on to tubes for dear life because it's so fast,
Yeah.
It's
Well,
different every time.
That's it.
Right.
Same section, different water level, changes
That's right.
everything.
Exact same section.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, thank you so much. This was great. And
I appreciate you letting me be on your
yeah, and
program.
I'll probably come and try out some of the hiking. I don't think anybody wants to be responsible for me in a kayak.
Well, one more thing, since you brought that
Yeah.
up, every year we have what we call demo days. All right, this is where our group gives back to our neighborhoods, or the folks that have never kayaked but always thought they wanted to kayak. This will be our fourth demo day, or fifth demo day, and what we do is we rent out a spot in Dreher Island State Park. All the members bring a shelter we rent out. Many members bring mini kayaks. We usually have 40, 50 kayaks, all different sizes, shapes, and stand-up paddle boards, and canoes, whatever it is that you feel like you want to try. And we invite non-members over 50 or up to show up. We have a cookout for you. Show up, and our members will help you decide which of all those different kayaks fits you best. Let you get into kayak, put a vest on you, and paddle with you out there in the water and let you feel. If you don't like that one, you get in another one. And we spend all day long, demo day, allowing you to come a novice, no experience, because how do you know what kind of kayak you want?
Right.
You can't. You go into Academy Sports or Dixon, you see a kayak standing there, you have no
Yeah.
idea because the kayak that I use is different than hers, different than yours. So we provide all these kayaks for you to make that in-water decision. We're not selling anything. There's
Sure.
no fee at all. We provide the cookout and we're providing the kayak. So this is where our members are just giving back and helping folks that just had that dream, just like I had the dream of wanting to get into a kayak. I had to do it one day. My first 2 kayaks were not for me. I couldn't fit in the brand new kayak that I bought.
Wow.
Okay, so I had to give that one to my wife and my daughter and say, you guys use that one. I got to keep looking. So I found a kayak that fits me, and I've used it on every river so far.
Yeah.
So that's what we do on demo day, is we allow the public to come and share the enthusiasm of kayaking with us.
Yeah, well, that's great. Yeah, well, and you put that, I guess, on the Facebook page.
Yeah, we promote it way in advance. It's probably will be on the Facebook page at the first of the year, and it's usually in the middle of the summer when it's nice and warm, when no one has any problems with cool water.
Yeah.
But we promote it every time. I'm promoting it almost daily.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
good. So
so
people could
you'll
look for
see
it
that.
there.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure thing. I appreciate it too.
Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or have a person, business, idea, an event that Lexington needs to know more about, email me, local@forallthingslexington.com. That's the number 4, y'all.
This episode was brought to you by the real estate agents at Home Matters, building on service, relationships, and on what matters to you. Find out how you matter and how they can help you with buying and selling your home at homematterssc.com.